and you are listening to the King of Afternoon Drive Radio. So are you ready, Clemaniacs? If so, then let's give it up for Clem in the PM.
Yes, welcome back, Clemaniacs. I can't believe it's Friday already. I was just sitting here on Monday telling you Friday is going to be here, and guess what? Hallelujah, Klemazel Tov. It is here. We are ready for the weekend. Yes, Clemaniacs, how are you feeling? I know you're feeling good. It's Friday. The weekend's here. We are ready for, all hail the weekend. Oh, yeah, all hail. I wonder how Santa Clem is doing. We can't wait till he comes back. All right, it is Friday. It is Friday. It is. Yes, it is. And I've been waiting for this day. I have. I am very excited to talk to our guest who's coming right up at 3:20. Andrew Deutsch, the backbone behind this book. You know, he not only wrote it with research, education, but with life experience. I'm sure a lot of the stuff that Andrew went through from toddler to teen to adult is within these covers. And all of us can relate to what Andrew's going to talk about in his book, Build Yourself Up Without Limits. Yes, coming up at 3:20 very shortly. So, it is Friday. Don't forget, the Doo-Wop Dream Machine will immediately be following the Clem and the PM. Always following the Clem. But at 5 o'clock, Doo-Wop Dream Machine comes on with your man, Bryant Avenue Bob, and his sidekick extraordinaire, Wilson Avenue Jeff. Remember when he had Dead End Neil? I mean, it was, I don't know what his nickname was, but it's something like that. But I tell you, him and Jeff, they have a great show. What camaraderie, a combination like Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy. I mean, these guys make you laugh. I mean, true belly laughs, real belly laughs. They're having so much fun that it's not like that fake Z100 laugh or whatever, like, like the host says something and then the other people go, no. Friday nights, usually 6 to 8, tonight 5 to 7. You are going down. Sometimes I just talk too fast for myself. You are going down doo-wop memory lane, great music, great stories, and all that good stuff. And for those of you that are going to the Faba concert, I want you to have a great time. Kevin, is it true that there's 2 tickets remaining for that concert?
Yes, there is. There's 2 tickets remaining, and yeah, just call in if you want them.
You can call into this show if you want them. 845-429-1700. Yes, Faba. That's ABBA. You know, ABBA. What country were they from, Kev? Norway, Sweden, Denmark?
ABBA was from Sweden.
From Sweden. Along with the Saab. The 2 greatest things that came out of Sweden, the Saab and ABBA. I don't know which one is better, but tonight is a great show. What is that place called? I went to it to see the Rolling Stones versus the Beatles. That was a great night, although the guy couldn't play Mick Jagger if his life depended on him. If they had a real Mick Jagger, I mean, the Stones would have crushed them. But what is that, the Paramount Theater?
Yeah, Paramount Hudson Valley Theater in Peekskill.
Beautiful, beautiful. And how are you doing today, buddy? You had a great show. I was in the studio working with Dave. He was getting some stuff tuned up, and I got to hear pretty much the whole show. Another great show and another week of the good.
Yeah, another week down. I'm over, I think that last episode was episode 103. So, I mean, it's hard to believe I've already gotten over 100 episodes.
That's crazy. That really is crazy. I mean, that is insane. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Andrew Deutsch on the line. Build Yourself Up Without Limits. We'll go to break a little bit early, so when we get back, we can, have a good old time here. And, by the way, I went to the Nomos cigar event kickoff last night. place was packed with cigar enthusiasts. I talked to a few people. I'm like, yeah, hey, listen, Gerald was on my radio show. I interviewed him. What are your, tell me about a cigar. What do you love about a cigar? And everybody pretty much had the same thing. It just takes me away from like life. Just like the Clem show. This is your daily dose of therapy. It's your escape from reality, and that's what a cigar does. So I have a 5-pack of No-Mo cigars. I got one in my hand right now. I'm ready to rip it tonight, all right? A big old No-Mo cigar. Giving away a 5-pack. So any cigar enthusiasts in the second hour, we're going to give these up. Okay, not now. I'm going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to interview Andrew, and then we'll take a 4 o'clock break, and then these No-Mo cigars are going up for grabs. All here on Clem and the PM. A man with mental illness and a microphone. We'll be right back. Woo!
With local news, local traffic, and local weather, if you like local, you'll love AM 1700 WRCR and WRCR.com.
Love is in the air.
Valentine's Day is coming.
And February is also National Organ Donor Day on the 14th and the American Heart Association Heart Month.
Send a message of love and affection to partners, family, and friends by purchasing a WRCR Valentine's greeting. For just $25, your message will be read live on the air Saturday, February 12th between 5 and 7 p.m. on a special show hosted by Roxanne Watson and Kevin Thomas.
We'll be playing love songs and reading Valentine's messages on the air. Just email your Valentine greeting, 20 words or less, to sales@WRCR.com.
You'll receive a confirmation and payment instructions. Then make sure you tell all your loved ones and even the people who hate you to tune in to WRCR AM 1700 or WRCR.com February 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. for our special Share the Love Valentine's Show.
Happy Valentine's!
You remember the days when you could turn on your radio and hear songs like this? Well, they're back. Hi, everybody. This is Bryant Avenue Bob Trevero, and I'll be hosting the Do-Up Dream Machine Show this Friday and every Friday night from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on WRCR 1700 AM and streaming live on WRCR.com. I'll play songs like this that you know and love and introduce you to songs you've never heard, but once you do, you'll get to know and love them as well. I'll take your telephone calls, dedications, and song requests. You say it, and I'll play it. I'll be brought to you by Rick's Club American in Congers, New York. So join me this Friday and every Friday night from 6 to 8 p.m. for the Do-Up Dream Machine Show right here on WRCR.
Did you know that the Historical Society of Rockland County has a history show right here on WRCR? Hi, I'm Claire Sheridan from the Historical Society of Rockland County. Join me every third Monday of the month, right after the Jeff and Will Morning Show, when we'll explore and learn about the rich history of Rockland County with different topics and guest speakers every month. That's the third Monday of every month at 9:30 a.m., sponsored by the Historical Society of Rockland County. Visit our website at rocklandhistory.org to learn more about our events, programs, and membership. That's rocklandhistory.org, or call us at 845-634-9629. That's rocklandhistory.org.
Hello.
Or 845
Oh, hi there, Pete.
634
How are you? Good?
9629.
I can't complain.
Good. All right, we'll be out of break in about a minute.
At least the audio is working.
Buying a home is one of the largest investments you'll ever make in a lifetime. Not sure how much money to put down, what budget to set for buying a home, how to pre-qualify for your mortgage. Join Ann Zylingold every Thursday at 7:15 a.m. on Mortgage Matters, where Ann will answer your questions and give you tips about the mortgage process. Ann Zylingold is Vice President of FM Home Loans and has over 27 years' experience specializing in residential mortgages. Don't miss the show every Thursday morning at 7:15 right here on WRCR AM 1700 Radio Unscripted and WRCR.com. Visit Ann and her website, annzonigold.com, or call 354-9700. That's 354-9700.
Now let's take a look at the roads with Hudson Valley traffic.
It's a rather typical Friday afternoon on the northbound Hutch with delays into the Cross County. As a matter of fact, those delays begin even before the Orchard Beach exit in the Bronx. Very, very slow today on the northbound Hutch, maybe because it's such a nice afternoon. Maybe a lot of you are getting out of work early, which would be nice. Now, also on the southbound Bronx River Parkway, we've got construction work, plus reports of an accident now approaching 233rd Street in Yonkers. That's right before you cross down into the Bronx. Very light traffic, though, on 287 in the Tap. However, the northbound thruway is starting to build in Rockland County now from exit 11 up through exit 12. Traffic sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Tired of being tracked online? DuckDuckGo can help. They help millions of people like you take control of their personal information online. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. And from the Hudson Valley Traffic Center, I'm Chris Magette.
Weather. For tonight, increasing clouds with the low around 43 degrees. For Saturday, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 55 degrees. It'll be gusty with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. For Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow after 1 a.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 25. For Sunday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 1 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 32. For Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 25, and for Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. That's the weather forecast. For WRCR, I'm Kevin Thomas.
Up-to-the-minute weather information is always available on the WRCR website. Day or night, when you want the weather, check our website at WRCR.com.
And the current temperature is 57 degrees.
All right, Clemaniacs, we are back in Clemville, and we are once again in the study, located in the center of the Clemantion. Now, we only come to the study when we do interviews, and last Friday, I was very excited to talk to our guest, but unfortunately, the ice storm came, Kevin couldn't make it in, and we had to reschedule. Now, I do welcome to the Clem and the PM show, author of Build Yourself Up Without Limits, Andrew Deutsch. Thank you for joining us today on this Friday in February. How are you feeling, my friend?
Man, I'm so happy that I can go out without risking second-degree hypothermia. You don't know what that means to me.
I don't even know what hypothermia means, let alone what it means. Just kidding. I'm not a fan of the cold either. My board up here, Kevin Thomas, who has his own show on WRCR, he loves the cold. He's like a polar bear. So me and you, I can relate to you. Let's talk about the book, Build Yourself Up Without Limits. First of all, was this your first book, or do you have other books?
No, this is my first book, and it took me 3 years to figure out how it should go and how to write it, and it was edited by a number of people, like, I don't know, 5 times, 6 times. A lot of work.
What led you to writing Build Yourself Up Without Limits? I mean, was it a course of many years, or did something just like pop in your head, I got to write a book when you were in your adult life?
What happened was that in 2014, I was coaching a bunch of people, and I saw there was a lot of repetition from what they were saying. And they would say things like, I go to victim, I go to rage, I go to struggle, I go to being an eggshell walker. And the term came into my head. I said, oh, those are your museum states. And they just like lit up, and they said, oh my God, because they understood that they were keeping that going, that they were the curator, like curating an exhibit of like Abraham Lincoln. They were curating being a victim. They were curating being a rageaholic. They were curating being a struggleaholic. And from that, the whole idea about the book came into focus.
So can you elaborate more on that term, museum?
Yeah, a museum state is basically, let's say you had a father who was like a real rageaholic, and your way of surviving him was to be a pleaser, and you sort of figured out what the old man wanted, what he liked, what would cause him to be to not go off on you, and so then then your museum state is being a pleaser. Or let's say you always felt less than enough as a child. Then and like you always being compared to your sister and brother who are like doing these massive accomplishments, and you just weren't doing that. Well, then your state is like being a less thaner, and so as an adult, we actually will take refuge in those states of being a pleaser or a less thaner without knowing that we are, and it's always stimulated by the fear spike of the moment. Something freaks us out, and bam, we either go into rage, or we go into being a pleaser, or we go into being a struggleaholic. And it happens in the blink of an eye.
Right, it's like a trigger. Something just sets you off.
Just like that.
Right, so these museum states, if they're not beneficial, because I've got to assume that there's some museum states that are conducive for personal growth and are good for you. Are they all bad museum states?
Well, the problem with them is that they all take us from being present. I mean, when you see somebody who's like really losing it, they're no longer there with you. They're in another world. They're in rage land. Or if somebody is really feeling less than enough, they're in their own self-pity party, and they're luxuriating there. So I came up with the idea that sort of like when we are afraid, we get into the beating ourselves up bus, and we take it down to Museum State Land and Boulevard, and we check into the Less Thaner Hotel or the Struggleaholic Motor Inn or the Guilty Palace, and we stay there for a while, and then sooner or later we come back to being present. But what the book helps people do is by building themselves up with a device called a prayer formation, they are using spiritual energy to stay present, so they don't have to go into the Less Thaner Motor Inn with the newly installed I feel like crap whirlpool.
Right. Does somebody have to have faith or a belief in God or a higher power in order to build themselves up from these museum states, to rid themselves of where they are?
Well, faith doesn't necessarily have to be in some like God figure or some celestial image. It could just be belief. Belief that, hey, I have faith that if I say good things to myself, it'll be better than cursing myself out 8 ways to Wednesday. So it doesn't have to be a whole thing. And the beginning of the book breaks people into the whole idea of what spirituality is, what believing in a spiritual energy can do for you, and it takes someone who just may know nothing about it and brings them slowly into the idea of really why building yourself up is something that is of faith, whether you believe in a higher power or not, and you don't really have to.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Andrew Deutsch talking about his book, Build Yourself Up Without Limits. So you mentioned a couple of things before that they instantly struck me, because I am that person. I go into rage over some of the stupidest stuff, but to me it's my OCD. Like, I need something in the right spot. I need something to be the way it's supposed to be, and that's only in my world. But in reality, it's probably something frivolous to other people. So I blow up. So I blame it on my mental health issues. Like they say I'm hypomanic. I have a lot of traits of bipolar and OCD. But I also look back at my mother. She was deaf, she's deaf, but when she was growing up in early years, she was institutionalized. And back then they considered deaf people, say, retarded, or, I hate to use that word, but she was put in a place where she just didn't have anybody there that loved her, and she had a lot of anger. And I look back and I see a lot of my mom in me, but I also see a lot of these mental health issues that my therapist and I talk about. How do you work with somebody, or how does somebody with a per se mental illness and a background where I always go back to it, and I say, wow, I'm just like my mom. How do we break these cycles? It's the steps you put in the book? I'm going to get me there?
Yeah, well, yeah. If you read the whole thing, absolutely. But let's break it down even simpler than that. We cannot lose we cannot lose it We cannot go into a rageaholic meltdown without fear being the motor behind it. So it's the fear, really, of losing what we have and not getting what we want. Now, we may not be the best thing for us to want the pen to be exactly on the same desk, but still, it doesn't matter. It's subjective. It's the fear that drives rage. It's the fear that drives being a pleaser. It's the fear that drives feeling like you're walking on eggshells. So if we can isolate the fear, and if we can just say, hey, good job feeling this fear successfully, I'm so proud of me and God, that's more your success than mine, then we're using a spiritual energy and a bit of an affirmation with prayer, called a prayer affirmation, to feel the fear first before we go into firing torpedo out of tube 1.
Right. Now, tell us, I saw you mentioned before power formations. When you gave me the book, you had put a little tag in and said, read this chapter, and then I followed into the next chapter. Tell us a little bit more about power formations, and this is a term that you coined?
Right. Well, affirmations have been around for years, and they're very popular in the New Age movement. But what I found in working with my clients, and also in my own life, that they didn't really do a lot. I mean, it was almost like ear candy. And I'm not saying that whoever's doing affirmations out there, God bless you, but I found that they were very ineffectual in actually creating a positive change, which is what I call change based on faith versus a change based on fear. So the whole idea was to break it down, was to say, like, let's say, I am holding the pen. Good job, Andrew, holding this pen successfully. Now at that point, let's stop it. I'm talking to the kid in me, and I'm saying, hey, you did something successfully. I didn't really hear a lot of successfully growing up, and I didn't really hear a lot of I'm proud of you just for the way you are growing up. So I'm saying to that inner kid, hey, good job for holding this pen successfully. I'm proud of me, not you, but me, and God, that's more your success than mine. Now, some people have had trouble with this whole God bit, which I get, but I say, look, could you tell me how to invent a spinal column, or maybe a prefrontal cortex, or how do you digest an apple? Do you know how to dream? What about spatial perception? Do you have any take on that? So, like, where does all this stuff come from? And I don't care about what religion it is, but we have to believe that the miracle that we are in terms of our bodies, our minds, our psyches are incredible, and it has to come from some outside source. We didn't do it by ourselves. So, driving a new Toyota. You didn't make the drivetrain, you didn't make the transmission, you didn't make the turn and bank indicators, you're just driving the car. So the whole idea was to give God not all of the credit, but most of the credit. And that creates a spiritual gravitas, a spiritual energy behind the power formation.
Awesome. We are again talking to Andrew Deutsch. How long did it take you to write this book? From when you first said, okay, I'm going to write a book. I have everything, years and years of experiences, education. I have it. From when you decided to write the book to when it got published, how long was that time?
It's about 3 years.
Really? That took that long?
It took that long because I was writing like about an hour and 15 minutes every morning, because I was doing a day job besides coaching, and so I had to get out the door. But I did about an hour and 15 minutes, generally at about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so let's go. You're a life coach. Is that what you do as far as profession?
That and I speak in front of groups.
Typically, what kind of groups? Is that businesses or?
Yeah. I mean, I've actually spoken in Israel, in England, in California, in Boston, and basically someone sort of has to know me, know what I'm going to be doing. And what I do is I do workshops as well at the group. So we do, what are your top 6 museum states? Then we actually do a museum state improv, where we have one person act out as a rageaholic, another person act out as an eggshell walker, and we do improv scenes. and it's fun because everyone relates to it. Everyone relates to these patterns, and when you could have fun and put them into an improv game, you see them in a new context.
But I've got to assume that everybody's got, several museum states. What are the most common ones?
Oh, certainly a pleaser, a struggleaholic, a less thaner, some cases an angst glutton, where you're a panicker. Like a panicker could be a person that's sitting in Hawaii looking at dolphins, and they have a couple of what-if thoughts, and before you know it, they're off to the races. Or for example, my big museum state growing up was a pleaser, because I was raised with insane people all around me, and I had one grandmother who had some hold on sanity, however tenuous. And so whatever she did, she said, if she said sparkle, I said how bright. If she said jump, I said how high. And we got along really well. Because when you're a kid, approval means survival.
No, that sounded like me and my nonna. Absolutely. All right, so tell me a little bit more about the spiritual garden.
Well, a lot of our conscious thinking can go really off the rails very quickly. So we came up with the whole idea of weedy thoughts and garden thoughts, and the whole idea was to people to write out these thoughts in their head and then put them on paper. So, for example, you can imagine yourself, and again, the mind is a very undisciplined place, so you can easily imagine yourself in 5 years eating out of a garbage can, and or you can imagine yourself sitting in Turks and Caicos looking at a turquoise ocean with someone that you love. So you have the option of doing that. So the whole idea was for people to define at least 5 to 10 garden thoughts that they would save to the disk of their brain, that when they became afraid, they could just go to those images. And to also look at some negative thoughts, to really look at some of those to avoid going in that direction. So it's basically creating an image of contrasting realities that could allow you to have a better life by certainly focusing on the garden thoughts and not the weedy thoughts.
Right. So again, when you gave me the book, you said, here, it's chapter 6. If you can't get the whole book in, read chapter 6, which the book is, I don't read a lot, to be honest with you, but when I find something interesting, especially when it's about the mind and the way like people think and shaping them up and their history, is it nature, nurture, all this stuff, I get glued to it. So I went back to the beginning, and chapter 4, when I got to chapter 4, it said, I suck radio. And that made me think of my friend Brian Avenue Bob, but elaborate more on I suck radio, please, for our listeners.
Well, it's how people relate to themselves. They call themselves, you're an F in this, you're an F in that. What the hell's the matter with you? You got your head stuck up here, and they just go under this fusillade of horrible comments that they amazingly enough define as normal. They see that as normal to call themselves a loser. I mean, no human being should ever call themselves that, but they do. And much, much worse. I'm not going to go into every term because it's radio. But let's put it this way. The whole idea behind that is even worse, because we all have a hard drive in our brain that has recorded very bad snippets of dialogue that go back to when we were 5. Let's say you had a kindergarten teacher that just said to you, you just don't have any talent. Why don't you just go out and play? Or you can't paint. What's the matter with you? Don't even, whatever horrible thing that a teacher may have said to you, or your friends may have said to you, our brain, being the wacky machine that it is, has recorded that. So we have an audio file of stuff that our parents have said, that our teachers have said, that old boyfriends and girlfriends have said, that also situations that we may have been in that were not really showing us at our best hour, that our brain will reference in a 2-second period if we're not building ourselves up with power formations.
I just got a text. This person wants to know, I don't want to say their name out. Do you take on new clients?
I do.
You do. How would somebody reach you if they wanted just to talk to you and find out, what you do and pricing, insurance, and all that other stuff?
Well, you can email me at Andrew Deutsch, ANDREW Deutsch, DEUTSCH, the number 9 at Gmail. So it's Andrew Deutsch 9 at Gmail.
Perfect. You got a few minutes to hold on for a break?
Sure.
And then absolutely. All right, so we're here with Andrew Deutsch going deeper into the book. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in Clemville. Give us a minute. Woo!
If it concerns the Hudson Valley, it concerns us. AM 1700 WRCR and WRCR.com.
Welcome to WRCR 1700 on your AM dial. I am Sonia Burgos Cranage, an attorney with the law firm of Sickle and Hicks, located in Suffern, New York. I will be your host on the third Thursday of the month at 9:30 in the morning, and it will be Senior Moments with Sonia. Yes, the third Thursday, Senior Moments with Sonia. Our firm is reaching out to the senior community in Rockland County because many of the senior groups cannot interact in person with speakers. Protect yourself and protect your assets through legal documents. And I hope you join us on the third Thursday of Senior Moments with Sonia.
Running out of faith? Then stop by for a service. Don't forget to tune in to Faith Unscripted, a brand new show dealing with the big questions about God, faith, and you. Hosted by Clarkstown Reformed Church's own Pastor Rich. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. only on WRCR, AM 1700.
When winter storms hit, WRCR is your total information source.
Delays, postponements, and cancellations.
Frequently updated weather forecasts from our exclusive meteorologist, Mark Hannock.
Direct reports from road crews who are out there making it safe for you to travel.
They'll tell you which roads are passable or whether it's advisable to just stay put.
It's a total team effort, and we win every time.
So stay right here throughout the winter.
AM 1700 WRCR and WRCR.com.
Your total winter weather information source.
Now let's take a look at the roads with Hudson Valley traffic.
Hey, good afternoon. This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo. In Newburgh, 32 is closed. Both directions, Sarvis Lane to Fostertown Road. It is because of a funeral. Stop and go on the New York State Thruway northbound. It's from exit 10 to 13, a 4-minute delay so far. Windy conditions reported across the bridges, so extra caution is needed. No speed restrictions at this point. The Hutch is backed up with an extra 4 minutes. Stop and go northbound, exit 4B to the Cross County. Fed up with companies selling your data? DuckDuckGo is on it. They help millions of people like you take back their privacy online. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. From the Hudson Valley Traffic Center, I'm John Grimeyer.
Weather. For tonight, increasing clouds with the low around 43 degrees. For Saturday, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 55 degrees. It'll be gusty with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. For Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow after 1 a.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 25. For Sunday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 1 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 32. For Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 25, and for Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. That's the weather forecast. For WRCR, I'm Kevin Thomas.
Up-to-the-minute weather information is always available on the WRCR website. Day or night, when you want the weather, check our website at WRCR.com.
And the current temperature is 57 degrees.
All right, Clemaniacs, we are back with our guest, Andrew Deutsch, who is the author of Build Yourself Up Without Limits, a strategy to win in all areas of your life. I wanted to backtrack a little bit about the museum states, and
Sure.
if you could just elaborate about a couple of them to me that stood out. For the Superman.
This, you say the superhuman.
Yes. Well, I was thinking, superhuman. I misread that. Superhuman. Yes.
Well, let's say you have a parent, and this is very common, and it's a really good example. Let's say you have a parent that is, mentally challenged or very depressed or doing drugs or just not really able to be a parent. Well, guess who becomes the parent in those situations? You do. So you could be 13, 12 years old, and let's say, hey, maybe you got to take care of your brother and your sister also, because mom and dad are zonked out on the couch in one state or the other, and you've been appointed as the man or the woman of the house. Well, you learn at that point to basically take care of others first and yourself last. So it's not a sustainable pattern. It's like saying, let me just spend enormous amount of time taking care of you. What do you need? It's like being a caregiver when you're 12 years old. But the self within the child is not nourished. And so as a result, what happens is that there's a really empty feeling that can't be sustained because the kid is trying to be an adult while they still need to be a child. And then that goes into being an adult where you're always taking care of people and you can't stop it. It's a compulsion. And basically when people will buy that, take care of me, knock yourself out. But the person then becomes empty, bitter, resentful.
Wow. Deep stuff for the eggshell walker.
Well, yeah, let's say you're in a situation where, you're hungry, you're 7 years old, you want something to eat in the kitchen, and you go in and you open the refrigerator, open the door, and then you hear a voice from the living room. What are you doing? You had dinner. Close the refrigerator. It's like you're dealing with either rageaholics type parents or unavailable parents, and you never know when the next shoe is going to drop. You don't know when the next World War II between mom and dad is going to happen. And so you're literally tiptoeing around because there's that foreboding threat, sort of like what's going on in Ukraine now. They don't know when Russia is going to invade Ukraine, but it's like, imagine living that way for 15 years as a kid, where your rageaholic mom or dad, or they're going to, start throwing dishes at each other, or there may be other issues that are causing the whole thing to implode. And I lived that way also because I had really institutionalized people who I was living with, and I never knew when they were going to start going at each other.
Right. No, a lot of the things you're saying are hitting home. Crazy. All right. We have a Burgermeister here in Clemville, and in your book, you have an Edgemeister. A little bit more about that one, please.
I like the Burgermeister better than the
You love Burgermeister. He's a great guy.
Well, an Edgemeister is basically, I had that for a long time, where what you do is you're subconsciously creating finances or work situations that are causing you to live on the edge. Meaning that you're having that low-grade anxiety of, gee, am I going to make enough money this month to pay my bills? Or am I going to have to call up the utilities and make some payment arrangement? Or can I pay my rent every month? So what happens is that it's a very dark thing. What we're doing is we're creating that sense of edge. And next to the Edgemeister is a struggleaholic. So we're creating, let's say, you're a contractor and the job should be $5,000, but you compulsively bid it at $3,000 because you want the work, or $2,000. That's a definite scenario, and you're not doing it one at a time. You're doing it again and again. You're bidding $5,000 and $10,000 for 30% of what they should be bid at, and you can't stop it. And the reason you're doing it is because you lived for so many years as a kid on the edge. Maybe it was through finances, Maybe it's through emotional unavailability. Maybe it was for something that was going on politically. Maybe you're living in Lebanon right now. I'm sure they're growing a lot of Edgemeisters there. So you become part of that. That becomes a life model. And then, of course, being a struggleaholic, which is the brother and sister to the Edgemeister.
And about aholics, what about the snobaholic? And then we'll move on to other stuff.
Well, the snobaholic is basically somebody that's trying to use arrogance as a way to cover their fear. They're afraid of being present. They're afraid of just being, hey, I'm just a dude, you're a dude, we're talking here. They can't go there. So they have to create standards of aesthetics that you don't adhere to. And that becomes a distancing measure because they're afraid of being present. In fact, all the museum states are based on the fear of being present and dealing with the simplicity of reality as it is.
How many museum states total?
About 10. You can look at it. There's always a weird one thrown in, but I would say about 10.
All right. Again, Andrew Deutsch is on. If you have a question, 845-429-1700. If you want to reach him to set up an appointment or even just to talk to him, Andrew Deutsch 9@gmail.com. That's Andrew, ANDREW, Deutsch, DEUTSCH, the number 9@gmail.com. So it seems that everybody's walking around with some sort of baggage that dates back to our early childhood. I mean, do you come across anybody who has great things to say about their childhood and doesn't have any sort of negative memories or baggage that's just holding them back or dragging them down?
Well, I once was seeing this therapist, and I said, are there any totally normal people on the planet? And he looked at me and he said, Andrew, children breathe unclean air. And he left it at that. Yeah, it's to the degree. It's really to the degree. Are there good childhoods? Yes, I'm sure Bruce Springsteen's kids, are not dealing with lack. He seems to be not doing any substances. He's been married for a long time. Most likely, Bruce Springsteen kids are doing all right. And there are, I'm sure, other examples as well. But in what I went through, and it sounds like what you went through, were nowhere near like mildly neurotic. We're not even talking about like a mildly neurotic. We're talking about way down there.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my dad passed away. My mom lives with us, and she's moving to Florida. My sister just came down yesterday. So a lot of those memories from my early childhood, and I'm trying to and actually I am just seeing the good memories because I can't just say it was all negative. Like there are so many good times, and they far outweigh the negative stuff. It's just that the negative stuff pops up, when you're triggered with something. That's what I feel like I fall to, is those negative memories and whatnot. But I can honestly look back and say, though, that I've had a great life, great parents. They did the best for me. So no matter what guilt or feelings I may have harbored, I think that I broke through and saw the good side of everything.
Well, that's great. And another word that for being triggered is being afraid. Something scares us. It could be a memory. It could be a video. It could be a smell. And it becomes a composite because it reminds us of things that happened 20, 30 years ago. So the triggering is really about being afraid in the moment. And the negative stuff is sometimes just saying, gee, I want to leave this feeling of fear that I'm feeling right now and go to another place.
I just got a text from someone else. So your book is available where?
On Amazon.
On Amazon. So Build Yourself Up Without Limits, a strategy to win in all areas of your life, by Andrew Deutsch, who was our guest today in Clemville, on Amazon. Do you do any local? When did this book come out?
It came out. That's a good question. I think it came out 2020.
Do you have any book signings scheduled, or is that like already passed? Since the book's been out for several years now.
Yeah, November 2020. That's when it came out.
2020.
Yeah.
Right before the pandemic.
Right before the.
Yeah, people can use this book to help ease all the stuff right before the pandemic.
I got in under the wire.
You most certainly did. Any last things you want to say to our listening and viewing audience about your book, about life in general? And obviously, before I end the show, I will give out your contact once again.
Well, it's just that our biggest enemy every day, because we can listen to motivational tapes, we can listen to dope Deepak Chopra in the morning, which I do, but we got 18 hours of a day to live through. 18 hours of being awake and dealing with our head and dealing with reality. And to really look at the fear, that there's a fear that comes up every now and then from an association or video. Maybe you could look at what's going on now with inflation and have a really big fear spike. The best thing to do is when that fear spike happens, rather than getting out the mallet, rather than beating ourselves up, to say, hey man, congratulations having the strength just to feel that fear. I'm so proud of me. And if you do nothing but that, your life will improve.
Andrew Deutsch, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for reaching out. I'm not done with the book yet. I'm going to give it a full read, and then I'll reach out to you. I'll have it back to you within a week.
Beautiful, man. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Pete, and thank you for having me on.
No, it was my pleasure. All right, Clemaniacs, this is what we're going to do. Let's say goodbye to our friend here, Mr. Deutsch. All righty. There we go. All righty. Let me take us back to the studio. Let me bust us that. And we are good to go here in Clemville. What an interesting man and what an interesting book. When I picked it up, he said, listen, if you don't have time to read the whole thing, just make sure you get to this chapter. It's like I'm reading a story of my life. Honestly, I can relate to so much of this stuff, and I know we all can. So whether you've made it to the pastures, or you're still stuck roaming the grass of negativity and prior experiences that have held you back, this book is an awesome read. It's on Amazon, and I would recommend go getting it. All right, 5-pack of Nomos cigars. Listen to me. I already got Anonymous Lee. He chimed in while we were doing the interview. He can't get in on the second hour to call in, but I've got his name entered into the bucket of love. If you are a cigar smoker, or if you know someone who is, it's all wrapped up. It's a beautiful gift. I'll peel this off. From what I heard, and again, I'm not a cigar smoker, but I got a cigar in my mouth, and I look like a cigar. Oh my, wow! I got to get used to this. I don't smoke cigars. I never smoked cigars in my life. When I smoke people like that, So if you know a cigar smoker, this could be a great gift. It doesn't even have to be like, hey, listen, Valentine's Day, ladies, if your man's a cigar smoker, you got the cheap right here. I got a gift for you. All right, 5 Nomo cigars. So when I was doing my rounds, they were serving hot food. I was like the only one grabbing the hot food. I don't care. And they had like all these cold cuts. It was beautiful. Let me just scratch my head. I was talking to a couple people, probably about 8 or 10, just saying, hey, listen, I interviewed Gerald. He was on my show. I do a local radio show. Your thoughts on the cigar, because they were giving out a Nomo cigar upon entry. And they said, hey, listen, we would love if you tried out. When I pulled up, I opened up the Clemini van door. I smelt the cigar smoke. Some people love it. Some people can't stand it. Didn't really bother me. I'm just like, wow, if it smells this strong out here, wait till I get inside. And once I walked inside, it was cigaroma. Cigaroma. Smelled like cigars. People had happy faces. They're talking. They were doing a brandy shots. And everybody said it's a fantastic cigar. I guess just like different beers, different types of marijuana, if you're a connoisseur, you know the difference. And these gentlemen and a couple of ladies seemed to know what a good cigar was, and everybody thought this was a real good cigar. So I got a 5-pack to give away at the end of the second hour here on Clem in the PM. Let's take our break. We'll be back. All hail, Andrew Deutsch. Yes. Woo!
AM 1700 WRCR Haverstraw.
Hi, I'm Kevin Thomas, host of The Good with Kevin Thomas, every weekday at 2 p.m. I've got positive stories and music to get you through your afternoon. It's the daily boost you need, and it's on 5 days a week. The Good with Kevin Thomas, keeping you smiling. Weekdays at 2 after Stardust Memories and before Clem in the PM, right here on WRCR and WRCR.com.
Feelings of anxiety and frustration are common when coping with a chronic health issue. I'm Susan Lust, founder of the Parkinson's Wellness Project and host of Learn to Move, Move to Learn. On February 15th, our show will feature Dr. Shannon O'Neill, licensed psychologist with the Mount Sinai Health System. We'll discuss the impact of chronic health conditions on mental well-being. Join us. Your calls and questions are welcome on Learn to Move, Move to Learn, Tuesday, February 15th at 9:30 a.m. To learn more about PWP, visit our website at parkinsonswellnessproject.org.
Hello, Hudson Valley. It's Friday, February 11th, 2022. I'm Jeff Lewis with your WRCR News. A bipartisan group of Rockland State lawmakers got together yesterday with the family of Jared Lloyd, he's the Spring Valley firefighter killed last year, to announce an effort to name a stretch of Route 45 in the village in his honor. State Senator Elijah Reichlin-Melnick and Assemblyman Mike Lawler and Ken Zabrowski all introduced a bill this week to designate the state roadway between New Hempstead Road and East Eckerson Road as Jared Lloyd Memorial Highway. Jared's mother, Sabril Davenport, was moved by the gesture.
We all know that Jared loved volunteering, he loved fire service, and I think that the county will appreciate driving down Route 45 from Eckerson to New Hempstead Road. So thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone that's involved with this. We really appreciate it as a family. It means a lot to us.
And that was Calvin Lloyd, Jared's father. Dozens of Rockland Emergency Services members attended the event, prompting Betty Lloyd, Jared's aunt, to burst into tears.
Thank you so much, everybody who participated. Sorry. We will stand here together to make sure this will never happen again. That was my baby. Sorry.
Jared Lloyd was a member of the Columbian Fire Engine Company No. 1 for more than 15 years. He was killed while rescuing residents at the Evergreen Court Home for Adults last March. A congressman faces drug DWAI and other charges after he was spotted swerving into oncoming traffic on Route 9W Wednesday night. Clarkstown Police Detective Norman Peters says Manuel Perez was spotted driving erratically near Lake Road in Valley Cottage.
The first arriving unit activated its emergency lights and attempted to pull over the Toyota SUV, but the suspect refused to comply, continuing to travel northbound on Route 9W at approximately 25 miles per hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. The suspect was swerving from the shoulder all the way over to oncoming traffic, nearly striking several oncoming vehicles.
Peters says Perez then struck another patrol unit that had maneuvered in front of his car, bringing him to a stop, causing minor injuries to the officer. He was arrested and released. He's due back in Clarkstown Justice Court in 2 weeks. A crash closed the westbound lanes of Route 59 in West Nyack yesterday morning for a few hours. News 12 says 2 cars crashed head-on near Crossfield Avenue. No word on any injuries or what caused the accident. Sunday will be super in Stony Point, having nothing to do with football. Supervisor Jim Monahan says the SEALs' 23rd annual plunge kicks off at the seawall at Grassy Point, and they're raising money for 3 families this year.
3 children who have suffered from catastrophic medical illnesses. The SEALs do this every year to raise funds for families here in Rockland County. Jake Alonji, Noah Diaz, and Tommy McGoldrick.
Registration starts 9 a.m. Sunday, and Monahan says the plunge itself should start around 12:30. The event is free, but they ask for donations, and there's a raffle with some great prizes. Parking and other information can be found at stonypointseals.com. Goshen-based beer distributor Dana Distributors is running their Alert Cab program again this year for Sunday's big game. Rockland Sheriff Lou Falco says it's a great way to get home safely if you've had too much to drink after a night of fun watching football.
On New Year's Eve, I'm happy to report that there was over 30 rides that were given in Rockland County for people that utilized the program, and I just implore everybody to utilize this program on Sunday night if, in fact, they're going out and they're having a good time, or get a ride home.
The Alert Cab program will pay for your cab or Uber ride home within a 10-mile radius. Just hand your keys to the bartender. A Nanuet heart transplant recipient will be celebrating Heart Month at Palisades Center in West Nyack this weekend. Roxanne Watson hosts Michael's Gifts here on WRCR and says the Go Red event helps educate people about transplants and good heart health, something she does at the mall frequently.
Stop by the table for information. We had women heart bags. We gave out 100 women heart bags. We met Terry and Gary, 2 new heart transplant recipients, both of them less than a year. So that was fun. We met a bunch of people that had bypasses and all kinds of stuff. It's always awesome to be at a table to talk to patients.
Roxanne will be at Palisades Center tomorrow and Sunday from 11 to 4 at the 3rd floor food court by Nathan's. I'm Jeff Lewis with your WRCR News. The weather's up next. The good starts at 2, and it's Clem in the PM at 3. And tonight at a special time, it's the Doo-Wop Dream Machine at 5 p.m. For more news and breaking stories, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website, WRCR.com.
Now let's take a look at the roads with Hudson Valley traffic.
Hey, good afternoon. This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo. In Newburgh, 32 is closed. Both directions, Sarvis Lane to Fostertown Road. It is because of a funeral. Stop and go on the New York State Thruway northbound. It's from exit 10 to 13, a 4-minute delay so far. Windy conditions reported across the bridges, so extra caution is needed. No speed restrictions at this point. The Hutch is backed up with an extra 4 minutes. Stop and go northbound, exit 4B to the Cross County. Fed up with companies selling your data? DuckDuckGo is on it. They help millions of people like you take back their privacy online. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. From the Hudson Valley Traffic Center, I'm John Grimeyer.
Weather. For tonight, increasing clouds with the low around 43 degrees. For Saturday, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny, with a high near 55 degrees. It'll be gusty with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. For Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow after 1 a.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 25. For Sunday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 1 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 32. For Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 25, and for Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. That's the weather forecast. For WRCR, I'm Kevin Thomas.
Up-to-the-minute weather information is always available on the WRCR website. Day or night, when you want the weather, check our website at WRCR.com.
And the current temperature is 56.
The following program is furnished by its producer, host, and sponsors.
Welcome back, Clemaniacs. This is Kevin Thomas, and you are listening to the second hour of Clem in the PM. Here's your host, Pete Clemente.
Oh my God, that always gets me going. I love that vibe. It gets me ready for the second hour. Do not forget, immediately following the show, the Doo-Wop Dream Machine is taking off from 5 to 7, phone calls at 6. I love hearing your phone calls on the Doo-Wop Dream Machine. A good night, even better. All right, if it's your birthday, we wish you all here a happy, happy birthday. Yesterday we had the game. No birthday, no winner, but nonetheless, great game. We did not go to happy birthday, famous birthdays. I'm sure you didn't miss a thing today. Famous birthdays you share with these people. But before I get to them, let me backtrack to you. Health, first and foremost. Wait. Just got thrown off my gig right here. Health first and foremost. We all want health. You don't really appreciate it until you don't have it. Right? So all health to you this year. Wisdom. Let your world, your brain, everything fill with wisdom. You get another year wiser. And obviously, anything else that may come your way is all gravy. All right, you share your birthday with Jennifer Aniston. I never understood the hype. I still don't. I mean, I don't know, but I wasn't into that show. Was it Friends? I don't think I watched the full episode. It just wasn't my thing. I've seen her act a few times. I don't know. I don't get it. It always makes me believe I could be an actor when I watch her act. All right, she's 53 today. Khalid, he is a R&B singer. He's 24. Couple of songs, Location, Let's Go, and Coaster. Right, that's how he became like a sensation. Young Miami rapper, she's 28. She looks like Cardi B, but that's Young Miami. She looks like Cardi B's twin, to be honest with you. Let me go there. Rapper who rose to fame in Miami as part of the rap duo City Girls. She and her partner JT are female rappers signed with Quality Music Control. She has over 5 million followers on Instagram. All right. I never heard of her, but what do I know? Brandy. I heard of Brandy. Brandy, another R&B singer. She's 43. Been around forever. Kelly Rowland, a pop singer. I've heard of her. R&B pop singer. She's 41. We all heard of Thomas Edison. I mean, the genius behind the light bulb. I mean, there was people working on it, but he had some of the earliest versions of the light bulb, the phonograph, the motion picture camera. I mean, this guy with his contributions to telecommunications is just, unparalleled. The great Thomas Edison. Happy birthday, sir. All right, who else we got? Wow, you guys say from now on you can tell you people you share your birthday with Thomas Edison. One of the most, genius peoples ever. Even say that. Does that even sound right? All right, let's see. Oh my God, Burt Reynolds. Who doesn't love Burt Reynolds? Sadly, he passed away in 2018. Deliverance, The Longest Yard, and of course, Smokey and the Bandit. Now, I don't like talking about the deceased, but did he have plastic surgery? Because I don't know. He looked like his face got stretched. And again, you know what? Why would I now soil the deceased? Let's move on to something else. That's a question that I can talk to myself about in the shower. All right, here we go. Famous birthdays, moving on down the line. Got a lot of good famous birthdays. Sheryl Crow. Again, I don't know. I just never got into the leaving Las Vegas. I don't know. I never was a Sheryl Crow fan. Listen. She's been nominated for over 30 Grammys, sold over 50 million albums. What do I know? All right. Don't come to me for a music career, obviously. I just never got the Sheryl Crow thing. It just, I don't know. I just never felt the love. All right. But she's 60. All the love to her, though. Here we go. Moving on. That's it. A lot of famous birthdays today. Good famous birthdays. You share yours with those people. What national day is it today? We had Andrew Deutschon Day, all right, here in Clemville. But in the universe or in Metaverse better get its stuff together. Honestly, I need to retire soon. All right, don't cry over spilled milk day. Really don't. Some people, I see them. It's like, just move on. Just move on. Don't worry about that. You're crying over spilled milk. Just move on. Why waste your time? Really? On February 11th, Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk promotes a positive attitude even when things might not be going your way. It's a day for looking on the bright side of things and then carrying that feeling with you every day. That should be every day. Honestly, it should be Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day every single day. But It's today on February 11th, 2022. It's National Inventors Day. I made an invention called the shoevel. It was a shoe with a poop scooper underneath it. Like you hook it. It was a device that you could hook up to your shoe, and you could walk around your yard just scooping up doo-doo in the poop shoevel. All right, it was the poop shoe. You know what? I should take it to what's that thing called? What is that called? What are the Shark Tank? I should take out the prototype, dig it out of wherever it is, work on it, perfect it, and because I see all these companies paying to scoop doo-doo out of your lawn. You snap on the poop shovels, you go in your yard, you just casually walk in, scooping up doo-doo, reading the paper, having a cup of coffee, on the phone, whatever you want to do, and you're just walking around. I'm telling you, I am an inventor. I will celebrate myself today. Thank you. National Make a Friend Day. All right, listen, if you're looking for more friends, today's your day. Let's see what it says. Always observed on February 11th, National Make a Friend Day is fantastic. It's a fantastic opportunity to meet someone new and make a new friendship. Friends serve as a vital role in everyone's lives. They are one of the life's most valuable assets. True that. All right. But I think I got enough good friends. I mean, I count less than on a hand. One of them last night, the great Steve Purcell. Another great night. But I'm going to be going through withdrawals. If anybody wants to take Steve's space for every other Thursday, just for a month. I don't need you. I just need you for a month. It's like rent a friend every other Thursday for the month of March while Steve's observing Lent. He doesn't drink alcohol, beer, whatever. So if you want to rent a spot, let me know. All right. And also, we're going on that pizza. You think I'm kidding? If anybody wants to go on that pizza voyage, just let me know. We're going on whenever. We're going to figure it out, but we are definitely going. All right, National Peppermint Patty Day. What I like about the peppermint patty is the commercials, more so than the actual peppermint patty. Although I like the peppermint patty, it makes me feel good. Like when I sink my teeth into it, I get this feeling. It's like I'm like enlightened. My body's like all of a sudden, it's just weird. And that's what the commercial says, because it's true. I mean, you eat this peppermint patty which was created by the Quiggins family on the Isle of Man, located in the middle of the Northern Irish Sea. They had been making the cake since 1840, but in 1880, four of the sons formed the Kendall Mint Cake Company, which then produced the peppermint patty. I like the peppermint patty. It's not a candy I could eat every day. I could have a Three Musketeers every day. I could have a Kit Kat every day. I could most certainly have Reese's Pieces every day. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups every day, but I can't because my daughter's allergic to them. But the peppermint patty, it's like for special occasions. And it just makes you feel good. Sometimes when I'm depressed, I buy a peppermint patty or two, see if it can uplift me. All right, so what else we got? National White Shirt Day. I don't have a white shirt. I got my Davies Apple Farm. I got my Dr. Davies Farm stand shirt on, red psychedelic. If I would have known, I would have wore a white shirt. I don't have many white shirts. You know why? Because I'm a pig. I need a little pig sound too. Oink, oink. Like a little pig. But yeah, I'm a pig. I really am, no matter what. And I like, why wear a white shirt when I know it's going to get torched? There's just no way. I mean, I'll wear a white shirt under like a jacket or something, but once I expose it, I'm going to lose it. All right. Anyway, it's 4:20. We'll take a quick break and we shall return with our cigar giveaway. If you want to get in on the cigar giveaway, you join us when we get back. 4:20. Woo!
Hudson Valley News, informative programs, and your favorite music. We're Radio Unscripted, AM 1700, WRCR, and WRCR.com.
Love is in the air. Valentine's Day is coming.
And February is also National Organ Donor Day on the 18th and the American Heart Association Heart Month.
Send a message of love and affection to partners, family, and friends by purchasing a WRCR Valentine's greeting. For just $25, your message will be read live on the air Saturday, February 12th between 5 and 7 p.m. on a special show hosted by Roxanne Watson and Kevin Thomas.
We'll be playing love songs, reading Valentine's messages on the air. Just email your Valentine greeting, 20 words or less, sales@wrcr.com.
You'll receive a confirmation and payment instructions. Then make sure you tell all your loved ones and even the people who hate you to tune in to WRCR AM 1700 or WRCR.com February 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. for our special Share the Love Valentine's Show.
Happy Valentine's!
We all want to live healthier lives and make good decisions. Join me, Carrie Potter, on the second Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. for House Calls, a health series brought to you by Good Samaritan Hospital. Each show will feature a different health topic and specialist. Your calls and questions are welcome. That's the second Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. for House Calls, brought to you by Good Samaritan Hospital. Advancing care here.
Hello, this is John Wicks. Days are getting longer and spring will soon be here. Just because it's cold outside doesn't mean your plants don't need help. Unlike us, they can't hide from the weather. At Wicks Arborists, we work year-round and are trained to look for potential problems such as dead or dangerous trees to ensure that your family is safe during winter storms. Call us at 845-354-3400 or visit us on the web at wicksarborist.com. Set up treatment programs now for your trees, shrubs, lawn, or to help control deer ticks, mosquitoes, or poison ivy. We can also help manage those pesky deer that eat your valuable plants. Contact us now before the busy spring season begins. Like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or visit us at wicksarborist.com. Call now, 845-354-3400. Wicks Arborist, where your property is.
Direct from the UK, the Faba Show comes to the Paramount Hudson Valley Theatre on Friday, February 11th. The world's top ABBA tribute show, said the London Times. The Faba Show is the sensational, authentic, and truly magical tribute to ABBA. Tickets available at the theater box office or at ParamountHudsonValley.com. Again, the Faba Show is on Friday, February 11th at the Paramount Hudson Valley Theater. Tickets at ParamountHudsonValley.com. Don't miss this special night of ABBA.
Hi, I'm Roxanne Watson, inviting you every Wednesday morning at 9:15 a.m. for Michael's Gift, a weekly program donation. I will be taking your calls and share real-life stories. This show is my donor, Colville. Michael's Gift, every Wednesday, 9:15. Michael's Gift, I live on New York.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission to have more people sign up as organ, eye, and tissue donors.
Are you an organ donor?
What drives her? Roxanne received a heart transplant made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day to devote myself to signing up the most people in the United States.
Now she's a powerful force for good.
That's my goal.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Now let's take a look at the road and Hudson Valley traffic.
Hey, good afternoon. This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo. In Newburgh, 32 is closed. Both directions, Sarvis Lane to Fostertown Road. It is because of a funeral. Stop and go on the New York State Thruway northbound. It's from exit 10 to 13, a 4-minute delay so far. Windy conditions reported across the bridges, so extra caution is needed. No speed restrictions at this point. The Hutch is backed up with an extra 4 minutes. Stop and go northbound, exit 4B to the Cross County. Fed up with companies selling your data? DuckDuckGo is on it. They help millions of people like you take back their privacy online. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. From the Hudson Valley Traffic Center, I'm John Grimeyer.
Weather. For tonight, increasing clouds with the low around 43 degrees. For Saturday, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 55 degrees. It'll be gusty with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. For Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow after 1 a.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 25. For Sunday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 1 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 32. For Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 25, and for Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. That's the weather forecast. For WRCR, I'm Kevin Thomas.
Up-to-the-minute weather information is always available on the WRCR website. Day or night, when you want the weather, check our website at WRCR.com.
And the current temperature is 54.
Alrighty, we are back here in Clemville, WRCR AM 1700, WRCR.com, and smart speakers everywhere. Just tell it to play WRCR, yes. Don't forget, coming up shortly, Doo-Wop Dream Machine. Tonight, the Fabba Show. We still have 2 tickets. Does anybody want to go to the Fabba Show? Call on in. More importantly, does anybody want a 5-pack of No-Mo cigars? Now, I myself am not a cigar smoker. But if you are, or you know somebody who is, these are some really good cigars. Fresh, just rolled recently. All these cigars that were out last night were just recently rolled, I was told, shipped, and ready to be puffed on like me. Look at this. Puff Daddy, baby. I'm the Puff Daddy. All right. So call in 845-429-1700 if you want to get in on the cigar giveaway. I'm just going to throw your names in a pot, in a hat, the bucket of love, and pick it. Right now, I got anonymously. Nobody else wants in. I just give them to anonymously. All right. Simple as that. All right. So I told you last week I was driving a police car. State trooper had pulled over a car. Was state trooper or Sheriff Patrol, I believe it was a state trooper. And he was walking up to the car, and I said to myself, wow, this was after those cops had been ambushed in the city and the shooting in Houston, killing of an officer out there. And I said, he's just like casually walking up, no hand on gun. I would be approaching that car with a machine gun in my hand, ready to just blow people away instantaneously. Because it's getting to a point where police officers have to do that. A police officer was ambushed while responding to a call in Phoenix, Arizona early today. All in all, 5 officers were shot, including 4 who were wounded while trying to take a baby out of the crossfire. So what happened was the police get a call that there's some domestic violence going on. So one of the police officers, the first to arrive, while he's arriving, it's a call of a woman shot. Domestic violence, woman shot. So he's invited inside, and as he's approaching a door, the suspect opens up and starts firing several times, hitting the officer. He was able to get away to safety. And video shows another man running outside to the courtyard, putting a baby in a little baby holder. Like he had a little, in a little, thing that you put in a car seat, like a little car seat thing. Running outside, dumping the baby there, and putting his hands up while another gentleman was firing away, hitting several officers. So this is becoming commonplace, and it can't be like that. Police officers should be able to have the ability to defend themselves going into unforeseen, unknown circumstances like this. The suspect in this matter barricaded himself in a home for several hours while SWAT team was called and took over. When they finally got inside, they saw the suspect had died from self-inflicted wound, and there was a woman who was critically injured as well. So just a crazy story, but another story eerily similar to others where police officers are set up and just sitting ducks. Again, if there was a vote, I would easily check yes, that machine guns can be allowed, whatever, Uzis, whatever they bulletproof suits, not just vests, full bulletproof suits, whatever it takes to keep our police officers safe, as it's becoming second nature for people to fire on innocent police officers. And what we really got to do is vote out the politicians who allow this nonsense. If criminals knew, listen, you shoot on a police officer, you're getting life in jail. You kill a police officer, you're getting your head cut off. That's it. I mean, why would it be anything else? Kills a police officer, they should die too. I mean, all right, give them lethal injection, the electric chair, whatever, head cut off, it's all the same thing. But if you shoot at a police officer, oh, Burgermeister shooting me another one. 2 Maryland police officers shot on, was this today? Oh, 2 hours ago. Oh my God. So look at this. 2 police officers and a suspect have been shot. According to authorities, a male and female officer were responding to a call regarding a suspicious male. Indicator, the dispatcher said they were armed. So listen, again, it's just becoming too common. It's becoming too common today, in today's day and age, for police officers to be shot upon. We must worry about the victims, in this particular case, vulnerable police officers. What can we do to assure them that they aren't walking in to these type of situations? And if so, what can they do to better defend themselves before it's too late? All right, very sad. We got to vote out the politicians that back these bail reform laws. We need to know the names, and really, someone needs to lead the masses to the promised land, where we have our own, what is it called? We're like we have our own block, like a block vote. People who are sane and believe that this bail reform laws are ridiculous. Yeah, change is needed, but let's backtrack. Let's first put the victims where the victims need to be and the criminals where they most certainly need to be. Because victims are criminalized every day. It's insulting how someone can have a crime committed on them and the assailant can be let go several hours later. So the Messiah needs to come and wake people up and get them to band together. That's the problem. We must oust the politicians who endorse this nonsense. All right, who's in on a cigar? And do I have any cigar takers? It looks like the people in Clemville aren't cigar tokers. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. I never smoke cigars, cigarettes, and I'll leave it at that. But the Nomo cigar giveaway. Yeah, hello, caller. Do we have a caller?
Yeah, it's Gracie, but she doesn't want cigars. She just wants to talk.
I'd like to see Gracie with a cigar. She's like a boss, you know what I'm saying? Gracie rolls around here in RCR like a boss. She needs a cigar in hand, even if she isn't smoking it. Just to, make her like the godmother. Yes, Gracie, what's going on?
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Listen, I ditto on what you said about crime situation. It is beyond belief, and these policemen should not even, they should, if the accident or whatever, or the call is a mile away, and it could be there in 3 minutes, they should take the long 2-hour route, if you get my gist. All right? Because this is getting beyond belief. Okay, what I called about, though, even before, before you started, and I agree with you, is I came to the compound today to pick up Anthony's stuff and Mary Ann's prize. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know. We ran out of those gift certificates, the gift card, so I didn't know you were picking up for Louis' card and for Margie's birthday card. So my apologies. Okay. If I'd known that, I would have sent Terry out. No. Yeah, so my apologies about that.
No. Don't worry. I shouldn't say that. They're not my cards. I shouldn't say, but no, you're wonderful. But Terry's, I saw your mother. What a beautiful, did she say she met a crazy lady?
She did. She said, lady, talk, small Italian, like Italian. I said, all right. I didn't know who she was talking about. I had no clue whatsoever.
She is absolutely beautiful. How old is she?
86.
Chickamauga. That means blind the glad eye. Beautiful. And I wish the bon voyage. And we talked, lovely. And I have to tell you, if I didn't have ice cream in the car, because I stopped on the way, I did my route, my thing, and then I came to you with Ronnie in the car. And what a day. I would have sat outside in the sun. It was gorgeous near your property.
Thank you. Obviously, you're welcome anytime.
But maybe let it get a little bit warmer. But what the sun was magnificent. Okay, that was that. Now, what else? Oh, okay. As far as the crime again, we have to, in New York State, we have to break the majority in both the House and the Assembly of New York State. If we don't do that, they have a supermajority in both houses. We have to break that so at least we have a two-party system so there could be some discussion. Now let's move to Clarkstown. In Clarkstown, somebody from Brooklyn, 5 people came up in a car and started shooting. What did they do? They shot into the house? Do you know any more about it?
No, I don't know any more about it. I mean, that was a story. Yes, they shot into the house. They were from Brooklyn. The house was an Airbnb. George Homan, supervisor of Clarkstown, doesn't want there to be Airbnbs because of that incident, I guess. And that's really all I know.
Oh, yeah, because I'm wondering, were people still in the house? Obviously, no one got hurt. What you know is exactly what I know. But, I mean, this is ridiculous. It was a bad day. The people drove up from Brooklyn to shoot bullets into a house. I mean, ridiculous. Okay, the point is this. I know people say, oh, it's property, you could do what you want. But there has to be, like my condo in California, you could rent it if you want, but you can't rent it for less than 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that policy, right? So you don't get a lot of riffraff coming in and out.
Yeah, because what happens, unfortunately, in Rockland, they made those McMansions, and people can't afford them anymore. So speculators are buying the property, and they're trying to make us, money quick. You know what I'm saying? But this isn't the ocean. Or where people go hunting, like we'll just say for the sake of argument, the Jersey Shore or the California shore. People have property, and you can rent it for a week at a time. But it's a different thing. Well, I mean, who's going to come here for a week at a time in Rockland?
Right.
I mean, the market has to reflect what is in the town. We cannot have this. Of course, it happened once, it could happen again. And thank God nobody was out walking the dog, and they got shot.
Right, which leads me, I got a dog story I want to share. All right, listen, Gracie, let me go to break. Thank you for the call.
Bye.
All the love. Enjoy those gift certificates.
You
guys enjoy them all. Enjoy them all.
Thank you, lovey.
All right, it's 4:40. I want to take a break because I do want to end promptly, which I always do. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm conscientious about time with everything. My time, especially, and others as well, just importantly. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back for the final stretch. Any cigar lovers? I got 2 entries. I got Dave, and I got Anonymous Lee. So any other cigar lovers, call in, 845-429-1700. We'll be right back. Woo!
Pull up a chair or a cubicle and spend some time with us. We're AM 1700 WRCR and WRCR.com.
How about some talk radio that isn't toxic?
Yeah.
This is Lou Young with Kevin Thomas, and we'll be launching a new show called Tough Times, where our comfortable tribal labels will not be allowed.
That's right.
Yeah, we're focusing on the permanent and profound changes taking place around us in our society and our environment We'll talk, but you won't be allowed to say certain words like Democrat.
Can't say it.
Republican.
Nope.
Conservative.
Forget about it.
Liberal.
Can't happen.
Call in. See if you can express yourself without using the labels that have come to divide us. Tough Times with Lou Young, Saturdays 1 to 3 p.m. on WRCR 1700. Join us. I dare you.
I'll be there.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Are you concerned about water quality for recreation activities like fishing, boating, and swimming? Or about water quality and availability for drinking and landscape use? Is flooding a bigger issue and concern? Then tune in the second Thursday of every month for the Stormwater Consortium radio show at 9:30 a.m. on WRCR with your host, Michael Wilson. The show is sponsored by the Stormwater Consortium of Rockland County and Cornell Cooperative Extension of Rockland County. Discuss these issues and many others that relate to stormwater, runoff, and water quality.
Hi, this is Dr. Jeffrey Shannon.
And Dr. Sophia Patricus.
We invite you to join us for our show, Listen Up, Rockland, the first Monday of each month at 9:30 a.m.
If you or someone you know is always asking to repeat, has difficulty communicating in a noisy environment, or has ringing in their ears, then tune into our show.
Do you have questions, or are you curious about how to improve your hearing? We welcome any and all questions related to patient treatment process, hearing aids, and implantable hearing technology.
Do you or someone you know experience dizziness, vertigo, feeling off balance, or have a fear of falling? If so, tune in as we can educate and help treat various balance concerns.
So join us for Listen Up Rockland, the first Monday of each month at 9:30 a.m. as we navigate all topics related to audiology, hearing, and balance with various members of our team and guest speakers.
Hudson Valley Audiology, located at 11 Medical Park Drive, Suite 205 in Pomona. Call them at 845-406-9991 or visit their website, hudsonaudiology.com.
The Army National Guard.
My name is Cheryl Hatcher. I joined the National Guard because of September 11th. I wanted to make the difference in the world, and the Guard is a huge help to the community. It's amazing, there's the support that we give to the community and that the community gives to us. I had a drill sergeant who was just my inspiration through basic training. The camaraderie that you get from being in the Guard is unbelievable. That right there is enough to get you through and to make you go day by day. And if you were someone coming to me saying, I want to join the Guard, I would absolutely say that it's really one of the best decisions. We're going to give you your education. No, there's no way of saying, I can't afford it. It's definitely an option. I'm absolutely taking what I've learned in the Guard and turning it around to be a civilian. I take such pride in putting on my uniform. I love to put it on and know that I am out there doing something for the better. Hear the story about how the Guard changed my life at 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Sponsored by the New York National Guard, aired by the New York State Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now let's take a look at the roads with Hudson Valley traffic.
Well, traffic delays do continue on 84 west into the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. Slight delay because of the ongoing construction. We've got some better news where we had 32 closed down in Newburgh. It's reopened. It had been shut for a funeral. There's an accident on 6 westbound, down by 293, and delays back from Long Mountain Circle. Traffic is stop and go on the New York State Thruway northbound between exits 10 and 13, and again, north of exit 16 up to 17. It looks like a Friday volume. 6-minute delay on the Hudson northbound exit 4B to the Cross County. Also a delay on 684 northbound from exit 8 to 9. And stop and go on 287 west, exit 9 to 5. This report sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free. Tired of being tracked online? DuckDuckGo can help. They help millions of people like you take control of their personal information online. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo, privacy simplified. From the Hudson Valley Traffic Center, I'm John Grimeyer.
Weather for tonight. increasing clouds with the low around 43 degrees. For Saturday, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny, with a high near 55 degrees. It'll be gusty with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. For Saturday night, a 40% chance of snow after 1 a.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 25. For Sunday, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 1 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 32. For Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 25, and for Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. That's the weather forecast. For WRCR, I'm Kevin Thomas.
Up-to-the-minute weather information is always available on the WRCR website. Day or night, when you want the weather, check our website at WRCR.com.
And the current temperature is 53.
All righty, we are back here on the Clem in the PM. Don't forget, very shortly, Bryan Avenue Bob, Wilson Avenue Jeff, taking you down memory lane, playing great doo-wop, and of course, taking your calls at 6. So I do want to share this story very quickly. Very sad story. A lady was walking her dog in Rockland State Park, one of the higher parts of Rockland State Park, when another dog off a leash, they saw each other. Her dog, one story says her dog was off a leash, and the other one says on Facebook it said she had it on a leash. But irregardless, you want to make sure when you take your dog out, they are always on leashes. One of the dogs sadly chased the other dog, was unable to stop, went over the cliff, and fell to its death. And you all know, as animal lovers out there, whether you have a furry friend, a hard-shell friend like a tortoise or a gerbil, hamster, whatever it is, snake, reptiles, your love for those are as strong as your bond for some humans, all right? So a very sad story, but let it be a reminder to you to please put your dog on a leash. We allow our dogs, when we walk them, off the leash here in the Clem Pound. And, sometimes they do disappear, and I always smack myself saying I got to keep them on a leash. So I should learn. Again, these are all lessons that I'm not preaching. I'm just saying I fault sometimes as well. But on the outside world, especially in these parks where they could have an altercation with another dog and be taken away from even the most, the most trained dogs. Sometimes, they just have a lapse, and sad ending here. All right, another sad situation. Kev, you'll let me know if anybody's on the cigar, wants to get in on the cigar giveaway. Right? 845-429-1700 if you want to get in on the No Mo Cigar giveaway. Now, this is horrendous, this story. I hear stuff like this, and I only pray that my kids wouldn't be involved in something as horrific as this. So Nyack basketball team was playing in Pearl River, and Pearl River, predominantly Irish American, area. Very rarely do I see people of color in Pearl River. That's just the truth. I mean, it would probably take you hours upon hours to find 5 colored people, black people, however, people of color in Pearl River. It's just not a common thing. It's like same thing as Stony Point. I mean, it's not a common thing. I'm not saying that these are racist towns at all, but when you hear stories like this, and I'm telling you, like I said, I'm in Pearl River a lot. It's one of my dominant areas. It's very rare that I see people of color. I wonder what's going on behind the scenes. So a Nyack player was going to the foul line and getting ready to shoot a foul shot when out of the stands came monkey and ape noises. Now, I don't know if you're as horrified as I am when I read that. Some people will say that that's kids being kids. But if you were one of those parents whose kid was making monkey or ape noises while a person of color, a young man playing basketball, is up at the foul line, you condone that? Oof, man, I thought I was a bad parent. I really put you Five classes ahead of me. I'm going to fix myself up, though. After this interview with Andrew Deutsch and this book in hand, I might have to walk around this book in my hand, like my Bible. I got to clean myself up. But back to this incident that went down in Pearl River High School. What should have been done, because it went on throughout the game, when they would go up and take a shot, it happened 3 different times that they started making monkey and ape noises. Now, the culprits, again, I know some of you disagree with me when I say this. You think I'm being silly or foolish. They should be tarred and feathered. And they should be made to walk around their hometown and show everybody how racist they are. But my belief is they would probably be like cheered. Like, yo, man, good job. Oh, my God, you don't worry, those tar and feathers going to come off, but great job. I don't know if it's a racist town or not, Pearl River. I really don't. But like I said, the facts are I don't see many people of color there. And, I mean, I did see condonement out of the Pearl River Facebook page. So that's why I say I can't believe that for a second it would be considered a racist town. It is a town where Irish flock to. A lot of the restaurants, Irish themed, Irish food, Irish beer. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, where people from Ireland are coming to the United States. They say, you know what, where can we go where we're welcomed, you know, by our native people that share our cultures, our beliefs, our talk, our language, you know, whatever. So that there's nothing wrong with that at all, because there's places where Italians flock to, where Orientals flock to. That, again, not an issue whatsoever. But you've got to make sure, though, when something like this happens, you stand up and explain to your children what's right from wrong. I'm curious to see the fallout when they find out, because Pearl River superintendent said they're going to find out exactly who did this and they will be taken care of. Yeah, Kev.
We've got Rosemary on the line.
Transistor, what's going on?
I'll be brief. I know you're in the middle of a serious talk. I just wanted to thank you for that nice interview. You took off your crown and you put on your serious cap. It's a very good interview. Very nice. You should have more book reviews on when you can.
Well, I definitely looking to get more interviews on, that's for certain. And we're going to take care of that. And you know what I think, everybody comes with a different story, whatever it may be pertaining to, whether it's food, mental health, like this guy was talking about bettering yourself, whatever it is. People have interesting stories to share, and I'd like to share more here, and we most certainly will get on top of that. So again, thank you for the kind words and your support, and appreciate what we do here.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, Transistor. Say all my love to you and Battery John. All hail. All hail. One of our favorite Clemaniacs right there. All right, Steve loves her. We were just talking. Some of your ears must have been ringing Thursday night, yesterday. I mean, yes, Steve and I were talking about you, not in a bad way. No, yesterday was all positive. We were praising the positive Clemaniacs. The people that really bring it. And Transistor was definitely one of the ones we were talking. So Transistor, if you had an itch deep in your earlobes, it was just Steve and I having a couple of cold ones talking about our favorite Clemaniacs. So, is that it? Is that it with the cigars? I mean, Dave, and again, I'm glad because you know what? I mean, listen, drinking's not good for you, gambling's not good for you, smoking marijuana's not good for you, but people have their vices. Chocolate, eating, fat foods. I mean, people are going to sit here and complain about smoking cigars, but they're going to go eat 15 cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to go, honey, I'm going to the gym. And the guy sneaks up on the drive-thru. Let me get 8 cheeseburgers, secret sauce, 14 fries. I'm going to take a hit of this cigar right here. It was a great interview, Byrne. Byrne's a true Clemania. Kathy, the queen of YouTube, Byrne checking in. And some guys, Gazala Javis, Hans Pazazzi. Dave tells me to start tagging stuff. So I tagged a couple things. And I got these guys. I don't even know what they're saying. They're like, Bur Life, Voom Tuda. Whatever. I don't know. But I'm going to start tagging the shows. And let's grow Clemianism together. Let's take over the world and spread Clemianism to everybody. All right, boys and girls, it has been a fantastic week, I've got to tell you. And it was the culmination with our friend Andrew Deutsch talking about his book, Build Yourself Up Without Limits, a strategy to win in all areas of your life. I do look forward to getting more interviews. I've got Terry. Terry is like the do-all of everything. She is the master of all. You know, I'm looking to open an ice cream store. She'll be the manager there. You know, I'm looking for Frank with this real estate deal. I'm going to have her be the superintendent over there. I'm just waiting for Frank to call so we can close the deal on that. So Terry's going to, always busy and doing her thing, but she's going to add advertising and interview, whatever to it. And Redneck checking in. Redneck, we were talking about you last night. I didn't know Steve had such an affection for Redneck. Honestly. I mean, I was blown away too. Yes. Steve said... because I told him, I said, did you hear the good news? No, what's the good news? I said, Redneck's coming back on Fridays. He said, what time? 11 to 2. I said, He said, I think better nighttime for that type of show, but what do I know? I don't know nothing. I don't know much. I'm always on the wrong page for this stuff. Anyway, but Steve was like, I like that guy. I like that guy. He's pumped up. He does his thing. He's into his show. I said, yo, let's toast Redneck. All hail Redneck. Woo! Fridays, 11 to 2. When is that starting, Redneck? Let me know. Kathy wants to know how the cigar event went last night. It was great. Place was packed. A lot. I would say about 50, 60 people at the Nomo cigar event giving out cigars. I got one right here. I'm giving out cigars right here. It was great. I mean, there was food. There was drink. I had a drink over there. I had some food. And I had to leave early because I had to get to my next thing, which was my date with Steve. All right, every other week, me and Steve go over to Rick's Club American. We grab a couple of cold ones. We chat, and we just shoot the... Yes. All hail. Steve Purcell. I know, listen. I got a surprise. He may... I don't know. Should I say it? Should I not? I mean, you know what? I'm not going to say it, that he might come back and do a show on the... I can't say that, all right? I don't know. I mean, I might burst a bubble. I don't know. What do I know? I know this... One of your favorite WRCR radio personalities is coming up in 2 minutes. And he's got a Valentine's theme show, which I am excited for. I'm going to go upstairs, take a shower, get ready. I got my soccer gig tonight, and I'm going to have the Doo-Wop Dream Machine on my Alexa. And I'm looking forward to this show as much as you are, Clemaniacs. So stay tuned for 2 hours of continuous fun here on WRCR. Tomorrow, 1 to 3. You heard him today on the morning show. Electric cars. That's tomorrow's theme. With talk, with interview, with music. The master, the Emmy Award winner himself, Lou Young, has put together a masterpiece of a show that tomorrow you can catch once again from 1 to 3. All right, Clemaniacs, my time is over for this week, but God willing, He will allow me to return here Monday at 3 o'clock. Have a truly blessed weekend, filled with fun, filled with love. Let's go Bengals. I got a G on them, all right? I got 4.5 and a G, so everybody pray for me. I can't afford to lose any more money. All right, all the love, and adios, Clemigos. Woo!